Hi everyone, I've been down my normal bank today and grabbed $300 of Australian $2 coins and $100 of Australian $1 coins. So I'll look through these today. Hopefully I can find a military $2 or an ambulance $2 in here. Anyhow, we'll look through these and see what we got today. Okay, after checking that $400 of coins, $100 of ones and $300 of $2 coins, I ended up with two $1 coins, six $2 coins, so 8 coins for $14 in total. And I've got to say, one of these coins here is pretty amazing. So what we ended up with was 2015 Anzac, 100 years commemorative. Very nice condition too, that one. They produced 5 coins from 2014 to 2018, and they're the only 5 coins in a row that we have. We don't have any other coins in circulation that are year on year for a theme set. Donation dollar could be classed as that if they produce the 2021, and if we get a 2022. If the donation dollars do continue on this year and next year, they'll be the second coin that we have in circulation that is a theme that goes year to year. But at the moment, until they do, it's just the Anzacs. So the 2014 was 22 million, 2015 was 1.4 million, the 2016 was 2.9, 2017 was 1.9, and the 2018 was 2 million. So that's the lowest of the 5, so really good. Really low mintage too. So try and get yourself a set of them, and as I've said, try and go for some really nice condition coins if you can find them, but take anything you can. I find good ones because I look through so much. But yep, they're a bit of fun. 2020 donation dollar, finally the annual report is out and we have a figure. H's prediction was 3 million. That was what was released in September last year, in 2020, and from then until that came out in November, the annual report 2020-2021, no one knew anything about any more minted. Ends up they've done 12.5 million of them. So the thing is with these, they're releasing them over 3 years, 2020, 2021, 2022, and 25 million coins in total. So half of them were done for the 2020 coins, which were all done at the end of last year. Really late, they're doing so many too. They could have minted them this year, but you know, I go the year that they were minted in is the date that should be on them. Let's face it, you know. But they could have kept doing them this year with the 2020 dies. I don't know. Bit skeptical on that number, got to say. I'll wait till next year when we get a better figure of a lot of things that came out in actual fact. Yeah, so we got 12 million to go, or 12.5 million to go, and we've got this year, which I haven't seen any at all. We're in late November. Where are they? I haven't heard of any releases. So maybe they're canning it for this year and it'll just be 2020 and 2022 donation dollars, unless they're happy with the 12.5 million and that's it. I don't know. So the next one is the $2 coins, and here we have a 2012 gold poppy, that one, and it is beautiful. I'd like to say uncirculated, but I can't, so almost uncirculated. That's everything about it. It's just brand new minted. I can see it. Lovely. So very good. Then colour coin, nice, 2017, lest we forget, 3.9 million, beautiful condition. Again, you know, up there almost uncirculated, lovely. Oh, definitely be almost uncirculated. I can see it here. It's in beautiful condition. If you look real close just here as well, you'll see that there's no paint there. It hasn't worn off, I just think it got missed. But the paint on this has just been dropped in little blobs all the way around. that's all. Even though it's raised, it's not metal, that's just flat all inside those rings. Gives an optical illusion of that not being in the centre. But it is, and they've just missed, the paint's just missed on the little squirt out there is doing. But some places I think has already come out, or it just hasn't done it. But it was just to get the effect. I don't think it's having like precise painting on these things, and all that paint will chip off and go, and eventually there'll be nothing there but just the gold coin. And the Mint know that. That's why any that are missing the colour, they're just been taken off on purpose, and if it's been missed by the Mint, you wouldn't know the difference between somebody that's done it deliberate with acetone, or the Mint forgot to put the paint on. And in future, ones from circulation, that'll disappear. And of course the coin won't be in as good a condition as having one in this condition with no paint on it. So they're worth having, but acetone will take all that off. Not saying to do it, but anybody wants a colourless colour coin, any of these, acetone, take it all off and leave it looking spanking brand new clean like that. And that's why I wouldn't buy any that don't have colour. The ones that are bullseyes, that's on the other side, that's a different story. They're definitely, you can't fake that. But where it's missing the colour on that side, I wouldn't buy them. No. Then 2 Woolworths Olympic coin release. These are the blue, and that's the female kangaroo on the surfboard for resilience. 2 million on each of them. The media release was 8 million for 4 $2 coins. And if you want the $1 in the pack, anyone that gets $1 from Woolworths, I've talked to Woolworths, that's an in-store management decision. If anyone's getting them from their local, they're doing it, well, good luck to them. And so next is varieties and error. This one here is a 2001 large head variety. The IRB under the head is all spaced. The standard small head, the IRB are all joined. Also the font's different, one's serif, the all joined. The all spaced is non-serif. So they're a different font as well. I've got 3 videos, 21 varieties, 28, 29 different coins. I'll put the link in, just go there, look at this one, it'll show you the 99 large head and small head as well, how to identify them, and a heap of other coins that you'll learn in, I think, a total of about 18 minutes between the 3, and you'll learn all those coins to go and look for that are worth money. So that's in there, and I'll put a link to it. Okay, that brings us to the last coin. This is an amazing coin. A really good find for me to explain and tell you how this happened. I'll do this one up closer so we can have a good close look at it. Okay, this is a big error going on here. I'll try and get it and tell you as short as I can. So what we've got is a coin that's missing a lot of detail. It's beveled down. Don't know, oh, you can sort of see, but from here to here it's raised. From here down it's beveled, runs all the way down. So the coin looks domed. Here you can see a bit of metal. That is not a cud. The cud is a die crack or a chipped die. This is a cold shut piece of metal, which means it's a bit of metal that shouldn't be in there, and it was minted with the coin. It's a 1988 Hearst Hayne, and the collar is the problem here. The third die, which is the middle collar die, it's damaged really, really bad, and it's caused extensive damage to the die too, because of what's going on here. And the collar being damaged has done damage on the edge here, on the corresponding edge here also. and all around the edge here, all the reading is in place. So the collar was actually sitting where it should sit. So the reading is minted on there. But all the way around on the edge in here, it's missing metal. It's missing there. I'll show you this all better. But there's metal being ripped off the sides from the collar being damaged in the inside of it and the corners of it. Because the collars come in two pieces. There's half that way, half that way. The collar on the very edge of it has been hit, or something's happened and it's created a spike, and on the other side too. And when it's done that, so you can see there the big gouge on the edge. What's happened is it's been gouged in. You could say there's a spike on the edge here. It's caught it, ripped it around and flipped that metal onto the face or the field right next to the Queen, and the metal has stayed there and minted with the coin, and it's sitting on top or embedded, and that's called a cold shut embedded error. Beauty about this is there is more errors on this coin going around that all coincide with this, and I'll show you that too. So here is the opposite side of it, just there. Interestingly, if you look around there, you'll see the oval shape of it, and you can see it there, still there, with the cut above it. And what I reckon is that was gouged out, but it didn't get out onto the field. It was pushed back into the very same place that it came from. And that piece of metal, I reckon, is embedded in there, flush with it. It was cut out and cold shut right back in there. That's amazing. You won't find these every day. And there's still more. I'll show you the edges where the metal has been shaved off, which is what's caused, well, that dome shape. That's all the metal shaved off, I think, is gone onto the die. The die edge is completely wrecked from this happening way before this, I'd say. And you can see where the metal has sat on the die and pushed into and diminished the, well, I'd say about 4 mil from the edge out, and that's all from this collar that's gone damaged for sure. And it's damaged all the die, and the coin has lost metal from all around the edges there, and I think that's what's gone on there, and done a cold shut but not stayed there. So it's still cold shut from all this metal that's missing off the edges, but it didn't embed itself. But it did above the Queen's head, where it came from the rim with a deep gouge. All the other metal missing on the edges is like shaved off. But there's still another one on the reverse side where I'll show you the shape of it is from a little chip that's on the edge, and it's done the same as what's happened with the Queen, but it's thinner and embedded in even more. So we'll look at that. Meantime, I'll just show you this. We're going through it lighter and darker, so you can see the outline of that piece that's actually still in there from the gouge. That the gouge is there from that slit, and I reckon it came out but it didn't get out, it got jammed back in. So I'll darken it up and you should be able to see the edges of it, and also I can go through different lights. I think that one might show you pretty good, and then I can increase the light on it. and then I'll change the colour of the light. So you can see all here, all that's been shaved, it's all gone. And that comes off minutely, of course. It drops on here and it damages the die. And so you get all this weak die deterioration, die wear, interference from this metal staying on there. That's the opposite side to the Queen there, and you can see again all missing, and this is all the collar. It should have been replaced long before this, but all damaged except for the reading, still all perfect and in its place, which means the collar was actually sitting there, didn't have any problems with the retaining of it. It's just that the collar had sharp pieces of metal coming off it. It was dinged and wrecked, and that's what it's caused. So I've got that bit of metal cold shut there, still sitting there with the gouge. I've got the gouge over this side that I believe that metal piece is actually in there, embedded in there. It was chopped out and embedded in there. And the reason that I believe that is on the other side of this coin. It's a really top coin. And so on the reverse side here, you can see all around the edge is all domed down, and that is all the cold shuts that have been done. All in here, you can see them all. This was all bits of metal flake, or thin metal, on the die, or, well, I'd say on the die still. Because otherwise, if it was pushed into the die, it'd be incused to be on top, and it's pressed in. And it's all the metal that's scraped off the edges of this and many other coins before it, not just this one. And it's just lost it all the way around. It's got opposing marks where just here is the gouge, just there. And you can see the rim is gone. That's the edge of the die, the hammer die. The hammer die is the one that comes down. That's the top one. Then you got the collar in the middle, which they call the third die, and the bottom die is the anvil die. And the very edge of that die has lost its guttering, where the metal flows into a gutter to create that rim. It's missing. And that's all the damage that's been done to it. All the damage been done to it all the way around. Again, about 4 or 5 mil in. So there's loss of design up here, and weak around here. This is all weak. And so it's been cold shut, they call it, if you want to look it up. When the metal's not there, it's cold shut. When it's there, it's cold shut embedded, which is the other side, the Queen, and what I believe to be the rim down here, where I believe it's chopped out and it didn't get out and on or disappear, it stayed in there. And the thing is that that shape on that edge there, of that one gouged out, see that big hole in his head right there? That's a struck through, and that's the same shape as the one on the edge here that I believe was chopped out and went and pushed back into the hole it came out of, and that would be the shape of that hole on that side. And so previous coin to this, it's chopped out of there, fallen onto that die with the elder in it. It's stuck to the die, and that is hammering a big hole in his head. So you got struck through, cold shut struck through. This side, cold shut struck through, retained, embedded. And the edge, I don't think you call that cold struck. It's just been gouged out and it retained the piece of metal that was gouged out. So it's an error with metal retainment, you want to call it that. But you can see all around here, this has lost all its metal. I weighed this up, 6.54 grams. Now, the amount of metal missing on here, it hasn't all got back on there obviously. This one did. The one on the edge stayed in there. I just lost a fraction from the top of it. There's scrapings around the rim. So it's hard to say because the weight of these is 6.6 grams. They can have an error of 0.6. So they can weigh as much as 7.2 grams and as less as 6 grams. Now that's official from anything that you see with the weights on it. It'll show plus minus 0.6 for this. I've got a video where I weighed up 2012 coins, $2 coins. I made sure they're all the same year, and they varied from 6.1 was the lowest, and I had a 6.9 or 7 as the highest. So this could be a high weight minted coin and it's lost all that. So it's very hard to say that the weight of it doesn't determine what's happening to it, because there's a huge variation. So don't worry about the weight, but look at all the damage that's been done. Extremely rare error to have with all of these things going on, and the retainment of the metal that's been gouged out because the collar is damaged. And as I said, the reading has been put on fine. No problems with the reading. It's just had scrapes all around it and gouges. So the collar was together as one. There wasn't any partial collar damage. It sat where it should. It's not tilted or anything like that. And it's solely that collar has caused all the damage. While still being in place. Yep. Okay, so here there's the chip on the edge, and on the field you can see that area just in front of it. It might not have got all the metal from that chip, but metal from that chip has come out, and a bit of it's landed on the field right there. You can see that half moon, and it goes up the vertical wall there, which shows it's come over that rim. It could even still be there, ultra thin, it's not picking it up. But that's another cold shut bit of metal retained, it's still there. So that's basically a flake on top. I've got it on an angle so you can see that gouge there, which I'll focus into that. So that's focused in on that little gouge. It looks big on this, but it's not, it's very small. You can tell from the hair, use that for a size up. But yeah, so that's come out of there, gouged, and onto there. There it is on a different angle. You can see it very nicely there. So it's chipped up, out, chipped up, down onto here, and bang, got struck in there. That's really good. Same as that hole in the head there. So I reckon that chip on that elder's head is the same shape as that there, and I reckon that came out, folded out, because I think that's joined there, folded out and bang, straight back in. But on a coin that's come out and then stuck to the die on one of them, and it's now stuck to the die, which causes an incuse on the coin, because on the die it's obtuse, it's sticking out. And that is the same shape as on that side there. Excellent. And of course on that side with the queen, Same thing, it's flowed over, but it's come up and retained it. That's where it came through. It just sealed it back on top. And underneath that will be this. Oh, really good. I'll just show you around the edge, or the dent. So you can see the indents here. It's still on the die for sure, the metal, and it just keeps imprinting it, and it's the same all the way around. It's just beveled down. You can sort of make an outline just there of where there was metal in that. Just there is where it's lost metal. It's been torn off. It's from the collar. It's damaged it completely. It's just torn metal away. So the edges have lost metal. And some of it's ended up onto the dies and causing all that edge damage. Well, from that angle you can see that's that opposite one to the Queen. That's the one that I reckon got chopped out and is back in where it came from. Well, that's an absolute. There it is there. On this angle here you can see it's still out this end. The other end is right in. So that's embedded back in there. Great. And at the top is where the Queen damage is. Just around here where the rim is gone. Opposite to that is the, well, right on it. Opposite to that is that gouge, snake gouge, and that bit of metal still retained. Yeah, excellent. So okay, that brings me to the end of another video. Hope you enjoyed that. Learned a bit on that coin. There's a bit going on, that one. Bit of a complicated one, that one. But very nice, really rare. So I'm happy with, well, all those coins anyway, and this one. So till my next video, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and until then, bye bye.